We are full of concepts and we think we're living, but we're really conceptualizing.
Sea change when you go from being in your mind to being in your heart.
And the course of love was about discovering our true identity.
I'm your host today, Lynn Kidd, and I would love to welcome our guest for today, joining us from Costa Beach, Brazil, Budhi. Welcome, Budhi, to our show. It's an honor to have you join us today.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn, so much. And I'm also glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here too, Budhi. Thanks for taking your time out. So just to get started, did you want to share a little bit with us about your personal journey before you discovered A Course of Love?
Yeah, sure. My name is Budkhand. I was born in Mongolia. And that time, my father was studying in Ukraine and my mother studying and working. So I was raised with my great-grandmother. And that great-grandmother was the very loving and living God for me. And she showed me unconditional love and all that warmth and really expressions, all expressions of love. I was invited to one interesting talk going on in Ulaanbaatar, in capital city of Mongolia. I discovered first time the spirituality, and I met Rodrigo. And I started really inspiring and learning things, and I involved so much into the activities and new learning, new discovery. And it's all about our awakening of the consciousness and identity, our self-identity, discovering our true self, and meditation classes. So it was so interesting, and I want to be a teacher like him.
A teacher like Rodrigo?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, instructor training course he conducted, and then I joined it, and so eventually become teacher. And during that time, we have multiple activities, and people are coming to our association and growing activities. So eventually, I have to leave my life I created before, which is I entered a doctorate program. I graduate my master's degree, so I left my course. So I want to be 100% and dedicate and share the wisdom and
Well, I hear that. I love that, and I especially love the way you said your grandmother was like this beautiful symbol of unconditional love. I really felt your heart. I could feel your connection to your grandmother. Yeah, when you spoke about that. So thank you for sharing that. That's a very interesting journey all the way up to the time you met Rodrigo and then you guys got married. So awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Did you want to share a little bit about how you discovered A Course of Love?
Oh, yes. We were living in Mongolia and invited to teach our courses in Thailand. And that time, we discovered Conversation with God, the book by Neil Donald Walsh.
Yeah, Neil Donald Walsh.
Mentioned that course in miracle, and we started reading, and then we almost finished and we back to Mongolia and we lived there and discovered course in A Course of Love.
Wow. In Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Study finished Course in Miracle, and the Amazon recommended us to Course of Love.
Okay.
It was so nice, and I really felt that immediately read the, I think, foreword by Glenn, and we really like it, and this is the continuation, this is the same voice, and this is the same message.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so yeah, so would you like to share something from A Course of Love? Did you have something really powerful, a passage or a line that you wanted to share with us today?
Yeah, sure, gladly.
All right.
You begin to live from love when the personal self gets out of the way. And when the personal self gets out of the way in any instance, it is the turning point. It is the signal that you are ready to live from love. This is what this course is about, living from love.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, when the personal self gets out of the way, which is the self of separation, yeah. And then you know that you are ready to live from love. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that. You want to say a little bit about kind of like what it means for you?
Yes, sure. It's like life is flowing through us. And when we are not resisting life, and then that you started living from your true self, which is you are love and living from love. So recently I have this words come again and again, which is movement, being, and expression.
Mm-hmm.
And convergence, intersection, and pass through.
Pass through, yes.
And it's a flow of life and live connected with the source and coming through you as you and living from unity.
Yeah.
And you express in life and resign as your own teacher.
Yes.
And life is the guide in your life, teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just let it flow through you. And yeah, the space is open and unity. Yeah, that access to unity. I love that. Movement, being, and expression, convergence, intersection, and pass through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a huge chapter when I first read chapter 22, the intersection in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
I kept going back to that and going back to that and going back to that because it had the thing with the like, you know, the layers of the onion.
Yes.
And then, or use the globe with a axis that goes through the intersection, you know, it goes through the layers and then it, you know, convergence, intersection, and then pass through.
Yeah.
And I kept going back to that over and over. I kept saying there's something really in this.
Yeah.
And I realized it was talking about that access to unity. And then when you get to that place of full union, awareness of full union, it's a continuous flow, as you were saying.
Yes.
And you're actually living from love.
Living from love. And one poet beautifully put, I am the hole in the flute in which the breath of God passed through it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's like our heart is to be available and to be open and to be perfect and clean. And that very source come to us and then guide us.
Yeah, the breath of God flowing through the flute, and you have the holes in the flute. Yeah. Yeah, I love that too. The breath of God flowing through. Well, thank you, Budhi. You really picked a beautiful passage. It really touches my heart, and I can definitely feel the unity here with you. So thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful. And so, yeah, coming up on our time, did you have any last minute words of wisdom that you would have for a suggestion for somebody brand new coming into A Course of Love?
Based on my experience, and we engage in unity and exchange this idea with somebody, that is the really transformation course. So I really invite our viewers and newcomers to visit the courseoflove.org website. And we have in-person groups as well as online groups. It is a very interesting experience because you can see how world is one. All over the world, people appear. So there is no time and no places. It is just in the same place and the same time, everyone.
And they're free to participants, yeah. And yeah, courseoflove.org. And the groups tab, we have, yeah, map for all the in-person groups. And then I think we have 23 Zoom groups. And so, yeah, that's great. Yeah, to join a group, I think that's transformational to be in a group. So I know personally it has been for me.
Yes.
So thank you. That's an awesome suggestion. Okay, Budhi, we're running up on our time. So thank you so much for joining us today from Brazil. It's really been an honor to have you.
Yes, thank you, Lynn.